Hi, this is Wade McKittrick, Superintendent at Montevideo Public Schools, and this is a Superintendent Stream. Today I wanted to bring in a special guest to be able to visit about a question that I hear quite frequently about is what's the update on the Fine Arts Center? Where are things at with that, and what's the progress? What are we going to be expecting over the next month or two? And so I thought the best way to do that was to bring the man in. To bring Brady in. Brady is with MAAC, who is completing the deconstruction process. And so, thanks for coming in, Brady.
Thank you.
So what I thought we would do is I've just got a few questions that I think our community is interested in, Brady, that I'll throw out to you and just let you give the update.
Okay.
All right. So first of all, just in general, up to this date, you've been doing a lot of work at the Fine Arts Center. What's an update for the community on what's been done up to this point?
Well, we took care of all the permitting first, so that's done. The gas, the power, well, the power's not shut off yet. It will be probably next week, but the gas and the water are shut off, ready for demolition. But the first thing we always do is we have to go inside and take care of all the hazardous materials abatement. So we got the asbestos abated, and that's gone. Your light ballasts all have to come out because they contain PCBs, which is polychlorinated biphenyls.
If you can remember that,
Yeah.
you got a better memory than I do.
And they got all out in 1979, so a lot of those ballasts still have those because obviously that building's from 1940. All the fluorescent bulbs along with it have to come out. Anything with mercury in it, which is your mercury switches, some of your temperature gauges have to come out. Sometimes the fire alarms or the exit signs have that in there. They have to come out. Any of the paint, all old buildings accumulate old paint and solvents and cleaners in the basement corner somewhere. It's all bad, but it has to come out. Can't go down. None of that can go in a landfill in the same way. Your door closures, meaning the little oilers at the top, they have oil in them to help the doors close slowly, so they all come out. All the garbage that was left in, anything that's not nailed down to the wall or the floor is generally considered can't go as demolition into a landfill, in the demolition landfill, so you have to get that taken out separately. So all the stuff down there that was moldy, that had mold on it, there was a lot of old prop department stuff that had mold, old cafeteria tables that were all rusty and molded, and all that has come out. Basically just anything inside that gets done first, and that's where we're at now. And the next step will be to continue on and demo the building.
So one of the questions that I got, especially early on, was what about the floor on the stage? Boy, wouldn't that be great to come in and take that wood out and repurpose that someplace?
Yeah, and I've done that. I have experience doing that, taking out a floor like that. But this floor is in pretty rough shape. You know, your hardwoods are laid down 1-inch strips at a time, and those strips are not nailed down vertically. They're toe-nailed in like this. So you can't just cut it nice and easy. It hits every nail every 3 inches, 6 inches, and it's quite a nightmare to take out. And this floor has got it kind of curled up a lot of places. All the 1 inches are curled, so it's had a lot of humidity and moisture, so it's not in great shape. So I wouldn't think this would be worth anyone's time to actually use again.
So the best place for that is just to come down to the deconstruction process.
Yeah, yep, just like any other wood in that building. It's just not in great shape, you know.
So, but you have made some things available to people for nostalgic purposes, or what are some of those type of things that you
well, for instance, one of the things we haven't totally gotten the door closures out yet, because if anyone remembers, when you walked in the main lobby, there was those nice, they're called chicken wire doors, where it's like 9 panels of glass with chicken wire in them. And I mean, for me, I have a hard time getting rid of that stuff and just dumping it in the landfill, which is kind of a bad thing as a demo guy, but I want to keep those or somehow find some use for those still. So I have talked to many people trying to figure out if anyone can use them, but they're so big and it's one unit together. We haven't found anyone to quite use those yet, but I would like to. So it's stuff like that. Some of the old props. I know some of the teachers came up and were able to get stuff out of there if they needed some wood or this or that, but I'd like to find a home for those doors still.
So it's not just, it hasn't been just, we take everything and we throw it in the dump ground.
No.
It really is trying to repurpose some of those things if you can.
Yep, recycle and repurpose is kind of what we always try to do with everything. You know, in fact, that's what we'll try to do with all the brick, all the cement. We could talk about that, but that's what we'll try to do with that stuff even. We'll try
So
to crush it.
what happens with that?
So once the building comes down, all the garbage, you know, like your wood and stuff, that'll go to the landfill. But the concrete, the bricks, you know, your whole basement and your foundation, we'll hopefully bring that out to the pit, and that'll be crushed up and reused, and that'll be in driveways and different projects right here in Montevideo. You know, people use crushed concrete, kind of like gravel.
So you may not know it, but if you're putting in crushed granite someplace, you may actually be having a little bit of the Fine Arts Center.
Right, yep. The Fine Arts Center is not going to move very far from this town.
All right. What about, Brady, what about the dirt? You know, that's been another question I've had. There's big dirt piles around the Fine Arts Center. What's up with that?
So the reason they were put there on the property to begin with, and everyone asks me, why are they on the building? Well, we're going to use those dirt piles. We wanted them on the building. We pushed them up with dozers onto the building so we can climb up to the top of those piles with our excavators and start from the top down. That way you have that added height to get up to the top. And then when the building's gone, that is your pit run or your fill to fill in and reclaim the property back to the ground level.
So you mentioned about the building coming down. You know, what should we be expecting, you know, as far as when that building is actually going to start coming down?
So once it's down, hopefully timeline, you know, we're gonna probably start smashing in January. And then once it's all down and reclaimed, and then it can be, you know, we're hoping that somebody will want to develop, and we're gonna try to find a developer to possibly put in, you know, maybe homes, you know, or maybe a duplex, you know, homing, it's gonna kind of match, we would like it to match the surrounding area, you know, the surrounding neighborhood there.
We've talked about the neighborhood friendly, you know, type of housing, and that's the goal, is to match up whatever's developed with the surrounding neighborhood and maintain or increase the value of the area.
Right, we don't want it to be an empty lot. I mean, I'm from Montevideo. I don't want to see another empty lot in Montevideo, but we'll do whatever we can. One of the obstacles there is that the old school, if everyone remembers, was on that whole block, pretty much, that surrounded the Fine Arts Center, and that was left in the ground, pretty much, the 6 feet deep of rubble underneath the asphalt. So that is an obstacle to anyone looking to develop that land, because now they have to excavate and get rid of all of that and then backfill all of that, which is very expensive.
So there's some challenges that go with the property.
Yeah.
In the worst case scenario, Brady, would at least in the interim, do you see that, you know, just being you know, what isn't blacktop right now, just being able to maintain as green space?
Yeah. Yep. It could definitely be green space, and the whole thing could probably be green space just with a little excavating of that asphalt, which wouldn't take that much. So worst case scenario, green space, but we're hoping for better.
All right, great. So, you know, that really gives us a look at what, you know, what's been done to this point, you know, what we're looking at being done as far as the deconstruction and what's gonna happen on the property afterwards.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you giving us that update, and folks, I hope that provides some good information for you as well. As we look forward to the cleanup of that block and getting that building and property to where we want it to be. So thanks for taking a few minutes to join us as we give you this update. And until next time,
It's a
it's a great day to be a
Thunderhawk.
Thunderhawk.